G'day everybody and welcome back to Starcub Review. I'm your host as always, Starcub. Hey, how's everyone doing today? So, today's review is going to be a easy, simple one, and that is on another book I have read over the past several weeks, months, and that is Stephen King's The Mist. Very interesting read, I must say so. But before I get into that, I just want to say a huge thank you and a huge welcome to all those new to my channel, new subscribers, people that are commenting, liking my channel. Thanks so much, guys. I really do appreciate it. Everyone still sticking around that is a previous subscriber or is still watching, thanks so much, guys. You know I all love and appreciate you. But don't forget as well to click the like, subscribe, and notification bell to keep up to date with all my content. And now we will get onto it. I will do the rolling credits as usual, and then we'll get right into it. Okay, I am back. So, Stephen King's The Mist. This is one of those books that I recently have finished in the last several weeks, and finally getting around to doing a review for it. What can I say about Stephen King's The Mist? Absolutely fantastic. Holy shit, I can't believe I didn't read it sooner, all those years ago. But this is a fantastic read. And also, it is so much better than the actual film that it's based on. The film, I do like the film, don't get me wrong, people. I do enjoy the film. But the novella, which this is, and them adapting it to screen, well, they adapted it twice. They adapted it as a movie and then as a series. The series was absolutely atrocious. And the film was pretty good. I liked the film, don't get me wrong. But after reading this, the book is so much better. The book is so much better. For one, the ending in the book, while it's dark and sort of like gloomy and, you know, going into the future sort of thing, the ending also has a thing of hope in it. And there's that glimmer of hope at the ending of the book. Whereas in the film, it's made out to be an extremely more depressing ending than in the book. But there's so much stuff in between in the book that was never in the movie, which was disappointing because they could have added a lot more in it to make it more juicier as well. But for the things that it did do right, like Mrs. Carmody, they got Mrs. Carmody down to a T in from the book to the film. Absolutely, hands down, Mrs. Carmody in the film is absolutely terrifying, as she is terrifying in the book. But there is so much more backstory in the book that is never explained in the film. The opening of the book is very different from how the movie opens up as well. So I'm not going to really give it away. For those that have read it, they'll know. For those who haven't, it's basically the opening in the book is so much different to the movie. And there's backstory on some of the main characters in that take center stage in the book and the film. You get a bit more of the backstory in the beginning, leading into what happens when they're trapped, you know, with the mist, the fog, pretty much. The creatures that come out of the fog and that are absolutely terrifying in the book. There's so much more blood and guts in this as well. There's so much more terrifying sequences, especially with the tentacled monstrosity that you see in the film. In the book, it is so much more elaborated. There is so much more scenes with the tentacled monstrosity. You got the spider creatures, you got the flying creatures, you got all those different monstrosities in the book that are so much more terrifying than the film version. Although the film version, I will admit, the spiders did look really awesome, and the flying creatures, yeah. But there's also more backstory on the Arrowhead Project, to do with the military, to do with secret projects involving experimentation, interdimensional terrors, experiments with all sorts of stuff, leading to opening holes into other dimensions. There's all that that is in the book that is sort of explained in the film, but not really touched on a lot. So I really think Stephen King is absolutely genius with The Mist. I was one of my favorite books to read was The Mist, and look, let me tell you, I read it with an audiobook, and the audiobook immersed me in even more into his crazy, fucked up world of The Mist. Some of it is very hard to stomach as well. There's some of it which is extremely graphic, which I can take, obviously, but there's some very, very I want to say unsanitary scenes in it, where the main guy is thinking about one of the chicks in it who becomes one of the survivors right at the end, and he's have a dream about her, and it's very, very sexually explicit, the dream that he's having, and it talks about him having, you know, a huge erection, and him having a big wet dream, and all of this stuff, and it's some of it is sexually explicit, but it's funny how it's integrated into the book, like in the scenes, because it's like, this is when they're all trapped in the store, and he's thinking about it, and he's sleeping next to her, and it's like, oh my god, Stephen King, are you fucking for real? It's like, holy shit, this is just some really fucked up shit. But you know, everyone who knows Stephen King, he is a genius when it comes to writing, and the stuff that he fucking turns out, I'm just like, you got some disturbing thoughts there, mate. But you know how Stephen King's brain works is, you know what, I had to hand it to you, being on drugs and alcohol and writing this shit that comes straight from your head, mate. Just like, I gotta give it to you, because my thoughts for short stories and a book that I'm currently writing, I have everything in my head that like everything just comes straight from my head, but I have never once taken alcohol and drugs to, you know, keep writing. But hey, I gotta give it to you, Stephen King. You've turned out a lot of good shit from drugs and alcohol, I gotta say. You know, gotta hand it to you, because the shit that is in your head to write the books that you do in some of the most bizarre sequences and all that sort of stuff, I just like, yep, would not have come up with that, would not have thought in a million years I'd be thinking about that while I'm locked in a bloody grocery store, you know, getting an erection and shit like that. Oh my god. But no, it's The Mist, I gotta say, hands down, one of my favorite Stephen King short story novellas, and it was previously published in with Skeleton Crew. So, if you can grab the one that's got all his, I think there's a compilation of short stories that Stephen King has done in a book, and that has Skeleton Crew in it. It has The Mist. It has some of his other short novellas as well. So, by all means, for those who haven't read Stephen King's The Mist, I recommend reading this and then watching the movie. Don't watch the TV series, because the TV series is absolutely awful. But I would love to see a reboot of The Mist where it focuses more on the faithfulness of the book rather than, you know, interjecting certain things here and there and changing certain things, because the book really, really does, like, you get to see a lot more of the monstrosities, different monstrosities. You get to see a different side of the human psyche as well, what they'll do in desperate times, especially when it comes to robbing people, whether you want to kill someone, sacrifice someone, you become an absolute friggin' psycho, you think the world's gonna end, and then someone becomes, you know, the all leader, you know, because they're psycho, and then they want to start killing the soldiers, they want to start killing people, they want to kill the little kid as well because they think that he's brought on this evil and all of that. It's just, it's really twisted stuff, and it's genius. I absolutely loved Stephen King's The Mist. What do I give it out of 5? I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 5. I really enjoyed The Mist. The Mist, everybody. Stephen King. Short novella, very entertaining, very graphic as well. But it's an absolute great read. Go get it, people, and read it because it's fantastic. But other than that, thank you so much for tuning in today. I'll have another review up in the coming hours for another book that I have just finished. But again, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. Don't forget to click like, subscribe, and notification bell to keep up to date with all my content. And I'll see you all with another video very soon. Alright, guys.